Is Khabib overrated? Well, it depends. By whom? Khabib certainly is overrated by many people, but he's also underrated by others. He's overrated by the people who think that he is literally the greatest lightweight fighter of all times by far. That's a bit of a stretch. He's one of the greatest MMA fighters of all times, undoubtedly so. His record speaks volume, and the way that he completely dominated some of the greatest fighters in existence speaks volumes, right? But I wouldn't go as far to say he's the greatest. For that, his activity in the UFC and in the highest leagues was just too short. And too many of his earlier fights were against people who were specifically looked for to lose against him, like Travelman, Journeyman. But undoubtedly, he's one of the greatest ever. So people underestimate him when they think he is not amongst the greatest. I've heard many people say, yeah, he's just a wrestler, blah, 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 blah. If in actual fighting, this and that. And that's complete and utter bullshit. That's complete and utter bullshit. He's a complete MMA fighter. He was able to keep standing with McGregor, drop McGregor on his butt, something that very few other people, if any, have done. So, and if the other fighters were so much better fighters, then they would be able to stop his takedowns, but they weren't. They weren't. And then he did not just wrestle them. He completely dominated on the floor there as well. He grappled, he choked them, he joint locks them, he punches them, he smashes them, as we like to say when talking about Khabib. So yeah, he's a very complete fighter and certainly one of the greatest fighters of all times.